Volkswagen has sure found its feet when it comes to hatchbacks and sedans in India, but it hasn't quite cracked SUVs. Its lone offering, the Touareg, was discontinued 3 years back, as luxury SUV buyers didn't quite warm up to the idea of a VW-badged luxury SUV, despite it being very capable. And the German carmaker has now entered the hotly contested premium SUV space with the Tiguan. Volkswagen is clear that the Tiguan will not take on the likes of the Fortuner and Endeavour, which are bigger, more purposeful and 7-seating SUVs. Instead, the Tiguan will face off with more premium SUVs like the BMW X1, the Mercedes-Benz GLA and the Audi Q3 with its price tag of just under 30 lakh rupees. It comes with the solid build quality that Volkswagen is known for and is of course loaded to the gills with features and technology. So we are driving this SUV for about 500 kilometers just to tell you how it feels from behind the wheel.
In terms of design, the family look on the Tiguan is so prominent, you would probably recognize it as a Volkswagen even without the badges. The good news though is that the styling is more in sync with the latest generation VWs sold in Europe, which gives the Tiguan a fresher appearance than the Volkswagens on our roads. In a nutshell, the Tiguan looks compact and sharp. The boxy design has an air of elegance which feels very European. The all-LED headlights are nicely squared off and offer excellent illumination as well. And since we are talking about the Tiguan's front end, these creases on the hood certainly deserve a mention. They start at the ends of the grille and continue along the length of the hood to end at its outer edges. The sides get similar creases that run all the way into the LED tail lights. On the whole, the Tiguan is very European looking, yet highly understated in its appearance, unlike the curvier, fancier lines of its rivals. Step inside and the Tiguan is quick to offer a premium feel. The all-black theme looks sporty, while the panoramic sunroof gives the cabin an airy feel. The sharp lines of the exterior continue inside as well, as the dashboard looks chiseled with its edgy design. Plastics are nice to touch and everything inside is well built as you would expect of a premium SUV.
I particularly like the dashboard with its soft touch panels, and of course the fact that all the controls here are driver-centric, including this large 8-inch touchscreen, and every single switch inside the cabin operates with a precise click.
The resolution of the touchscreen could have been slightly better, though touch sensitivity is excellent. Another highlight inside the cabin is the ambient lighting, which looks really cool in the dark. The leather seats feel well bolstered and the driver's seat gets fully motorized adjustments with memory function too. The range of adjustment is vast, which allowed me to adjust the seat to my liking.
For India, Volkswagen has launched the Tiguan only with its new generation 2-litre diesel engine. The engine feels extremely refined and the power delivery is linear, as there's barely any turbo lag, with peak torque being generated at just 1750 RPM. And with 143 PS of power and 340 Nm of torque, acceleration is quick. In fact, this engine manages to sound sporty as revs climb up despite it being a diesel. At the same time, the 7-speed DSG gearbox here is quick to respond either when shifting up or down, which adds to the brilliant experience.
The engine does not feel stressed even when pushing speeds on open roads. Cruising well above 120 km per hour is never an issue for the Tiguan, with the refinement and linear performance from the engine and the well-spaced ratios of the 7-speed gearbox. The transmission is particularly excellent at shifting up quickly to offer brisk acceleration, be it from slow speeds in city or at highway speeds. And with a claimed efficiency of 17 km per litre, we expect the Tiguan to be reasonably frugal as well. The Tiguan's party trick though has to be the inclusion of driving modes. A rotary dial sits behind the gear lever and lets you choose between road and off-road modes. Road modes include Eco, Normal, Sport and Individual, while the off-road modes include a snow mode, an off-road mode with preset settings, and one that lets you customize the settings. So whether you're driving on the road or off it, there are enough combinations to choose from for the steering power delivery and even the air conditioning.
The feature list in the Tiguan is as extensive as it gets, and there's probably more features in this SUV than the compact luxury SUVs it competes with.
The tailgate is electrically powered in the Highline variant and gets a courtesy function too, which means it can open automatically in case your hands are full. The list is elaborate inside too and includes features like heated front seats and 3-zone air conditioning. For the driver, there's aids like cruise control, hill hold and hill descent, park assist, front and rear parking sensors, and a reverse camera with a crisp resolution and guiding lines. There's a tire pressure monitoring system too, with different settings for different load conditions. And of course, the Tiguan does get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to connect smartphones easily. And the infotainment system integrates a feature called Think Blue, which has a scoring system to tell the driver just how efficiently he's driving, which we think is pretty cool. The Tiguan will pamper rear passengers too, and that's because its rear seat can slide forwards or backwards to maximize kneeroom and legroom, while the seat back can be reclined to a more comfortable angle too.
The Tiguan might look compact from outside, but there's a lot of space inside for the occupants, especially the rear seat, where you have a lot of leg room, knee room and headroom as well. And seating 3 people on this seat is not a problem except for the fact that the transmission tunnel is tall. And these picnic trays are a thoughtful inclusion, especially since you can set them at various angles.
Talking about interior space, the Tiguan's boot is pretty large with a volume of 615 litres. And if you ever feel that isn't enough, the second row seat backs can be flipped down, which increases the boot space to a massive 1655 litres.
The suspension setup is firm, which causes a bit of a thud when you go fast over rumbler strips or potholes, but that's a trade-off that most people would not mind given the Tiguan's sporty handling. And those thuds aside, this is a very quiet cabin.
The quietness and planted feel at higher speeds confirm that the Tiguan is certainly a premium German SUV. And that's not just because of the plush feel, but even its handling. Occupants will barely move in their seats even when you chuck it into a corner hastily.
In terms of the handling, the Tiguan's behavior is more car-like, as it is quick to turn in and stay planted even around fast corners. The steering could have offered some more feedback, but on the whole, the handling package is very impressive. For India, the Tiguan gets Volkswagen's 4Motion on-demand 4-wheel drive system, which sends power to the front wheels primarily, but whenever required, it can send power to the rear wheels as well, especially at times when you're going off-roading. And off-roading is something we haven't had a chance to do on this drive with the Tiguan.
The Highline variant you see here gets fatter 235 section tires from Hankook, which offered good grip at all times. The more interesting bit about these tires though is that they are self-sealing. They have a gel inside which can take care of small punctures on its own.
The Tiguan thus comes across as a well-packaged, solidly built SUV that's complemented equally well by an extensive feature and equipment list. It is on offer in 2 variants only, and the base price for the Comfort line starts at 27.98 lakh rupees ex-showroom in New Delhi. The pricing is on the higher side, but when you consider the driving experience, the extensive equipment list, the technology and the features that this SUV gets, you will be convinced that the Volkswagen Tiguan does offer more than compact luxury SUVs at a more affordable price.